Greetings and welcome back to episode 13 of Forever Stranded. As I said at the end of the last episode, there was a sandstorm coming, and I would need to check the boundaries to make sure nothing got in. Between episodes, I noticed that it was getting dark out, so I actually went ahead and already did that and cleaned up what I needed to. Also, while I was out, the second block of coal coke finished cooking, so we now have more creosote oil with which I can finish making the treated wood planks I need for the windmill blades. However, first, when I left off last episode, we were looking at making the wooden generator, and actually had already gathered the materials, so that completes the very basic RF quest, which is here, and gets us another wooden generator. Stone RF. Make 2 stone generators. Okay. That requires 7 stone and more RF engines. That's a lot of redstone I'm going through very quickly for these quests. I also need 14 stone, which I do not believe I have any of at the moment. So we just need to start that cooking. And I might as well do a full half stack of stone while I'm at it. So, as I said, we now have the wood planks in order to make the windmill. Before I do that, let's make sure I'm remembering which one I need. Yes, windmill. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 windmill blades. Okay, I need 1 more craft worth of the treated planks. Okay. Also, oh shoot, I put the dust away. I'm still gathering more clay for the blast furnace. About halfway done now. Let's see. Put that around. Okay, that should be enough for the 4 windmill blades, or the remaining 2 as the case may be. Quest complete, wind power. Which gives us 4 more steel ingots. Firepower. Ooh, now we're getting into some real weapons. Chemical thrower and railgun. I doubt we can make them yet, but let's just check. Railgun. Requires 6 steel, 6 more steel, and more blocks of redstone. That is really easy to make. And electrum, which is, if we can work our way all the way back through the crafting steps. Alloying, there we go. 1 gold, 1 silver gets you to electrum. So that's quite a bit, but we need the steel to be able to do that. So we don't need to look into that until we get the blast furnace up and running. Now the chemical thrower, 2 more wooden grips, pressurized air tank, which is easy to make, just uses a fair amount of iron. Heavy engineering block. Ooh, this requires a lot of steel. 4, 8, 12 steel, plus another electrum. A regular bucket and a fluid pipe, which is just 6 more iron to get 8 pipes. So, once I get the blast furnace, both of those are doable. It'll just take a while to actually get enough steel. In the meantime, can't do anything about them. So, the other thing I said that I wanted to do was to make a market. This is an item from Pam's Harvest Craft. Market. There we go. It's really easy to make. It's just 4 wooden planks, 4 wool of any color, and an emerald. So we need 16 string, an emerald, and we can make a market. The nice thing about the market is it allows you to purchase any Pam's Harvest Craft seed, and I'm not sure what else, but I believe some animal products and or spawn eggs as well. Unfortunately, you just kind of have to click through until you find what you're looking for. Okay, you can also buy vanilla seeds, saplings, all the fruit and nut saplings from Pam's Harvest Craft. Spawn eggs. 7 emeralds for a pig, 7 for a sheep, 12 for a cow, 4 for a chicken, 13 for a horse, and we've now gotten all the way around. And 1 for a bone meal. I kind of hope that's more than just 1 bone meal, but I'm not gonna check. Okay, in that case, I want... I've put a little bit of thought into this, and I think I'm going to do a whole bunch of grain and veggie type things to make more ground trap bait. Which means I'm going to go ahead and look through these off camera, because I doubt you want to see me doing this over and over, and buy exactly what I want. Oh, and as a side note, Candleberry can only be purchased, can only be obtained through the market. It does not drop normally. So, we'll be back in a couple minutes once I've found the ones I want. So, in the end, I decided to buy oats for grain and soybean for vegetables. Each seed was 3 emeralds. The soy is very useful on its own for a couple food recipes, and also using the pressers, it can be turned into tofu and take the place of meats in all these sorted recipes. That saves the need of an animal farm down the road, which can be very useful. Oats are also useful for a couple food recipes by itself, namely maple oatmeal, but primarily for the grain for the baits. And now we have enough seeds now that we've pretty much got a full garden going. I'm gonna continue watering these for a little bit to get a bit more. Also, while off, I made a bunch of netherrack through the lava and redstone method because they are required to make the blast bricks for the blast furnace. I don't quite have enough, and I'm currently waiting on more lava to cook. And between that and the watering the plants, well, we'll be back in a few more minutes. While I was gathering materials, a blitz managed to sneak into the wall. So we're gonna have to come out here and deal with it. Hopefully not get too badly hurt. Or hurt at all, apparently. Blitz rod. Useful for blitz powder. Useful for erothium dust. That's a lot of RF for a single bucket of fuel. But otherwise, I'm not sure entirely what it's good for. Anyway, I finished off getting an... Well, as I was saying, I finished off getting enough seeds to plant my whole farm. We almost have enough nether rack for nether bricks. Just need to wait for another batch to finish cooking. Started cooking up the nether bricks as well. And took a look at the next couple quests that we can do. Starting up, we have to get 6 flux crystals and then create various pure crystals for the startup of Applied Energistics 2. That will take Certus Quartz, Nether Quartz, and Redstone, and actually a fair amount of time to get these done. So with that, it's actually probably worth starting up. I don't recall whether the flux crystals get you 2 at a time or only 1. You get 2 at a time for a charged Certus Quartz, a Nether Quartz, and a Redstone Dust. Okay, I was going to use the regular Certus Quartz, which means it's a good thing I checked. And then we just go outside and toss these in a puddle. Give it a couple seconds, and we get 6 flux crystals and an achievement. Now we need to do the pure Certus Quartz, flux crystals, and Nether Quartz crystals. Which we might actually not be able to at the moment until we get more machines running. But let's just check. The pure crystals are gotten by a appropriate seed made from the dust and sand tossed into water. It can be accelerated with crystal growth accelerators, but we don't have those yet, and they require a fair amount of flux crystal to make. So, the seeds. Crystal seed. That did not get what I wanted. Okay. These are what we need. We need a Certus Quartz seed. This is easy enough to get. We already have the dust. We do not have the Nether Quartz dust, however. And for that, we need a macerator, a grindstone, or a sag mill. So, that halts us on the pursuit of that quest for now. However, the other quest available here is Alloys and Crusher. Requires making a sag mill, which we can then use to make the dusts we need, and an alloy smelter. These are both fairly simple to make, as they're the starting machines for Ender IO. First, the sag mill. It's 3 obsidian, a couple flint, bunch of iron, pair of basic capacitors. No, only 1 basic capacitor. Good, and we already have, there it is, basic capacitor, iron, gold. We actually need another gold. We'll just steal the nuggets. Clean up a bit. I don't know why you sometimes get sapling drops from that, but you do. So we need the machine chassis. Actually, we don't need the gold, but for which we need iron bars, a couple pistons, for which we need some cobblestone. Speaking of the cobblestone, I was cooking up stone previously to do the stone RF quest, but the amount of redstone I've had to use between the wooden generator and making the nether rack, I'm putting it off a little for now because I don't need the power, and so I'd rather keep the reserve of redstone. So we need 2 pistons. I said, oh, need more redstone. So again, I said 2 pistons. Machine chassis. 3 obsidian and 2 flint. Well, the flint is easy enough. The obsidian, we actually do have as a reward from the quest where we made these obsidian tool parts. So we can make our sag mill. This is a fairly bog standard ore crushing mechanic. It also makes cobblestone into gravel, etc. The interesting part about the sag mill, if you're not familiar with Ender.io, I can find a spot to put down, is you've got this extra little slot here. It allows you to place things such as flint, if you notice, sag mill grinding ball, which increases the outputs for both the main result and bonus results from grinding something, and reduces the power requirement all at the same time. The other option that exists are dark steel balls, which are better, which I believe it's exactly double, or no, it's not double. The bonus output is significantly higher. The main output is improved a bit, and the power reduction is doubled. So dark steel balls are very nice. And the recipe's changed a little bit. Normally it takes 5 dark steel to make 1 ball. But dark steel requires alloy smelter. So that's a ways off, and it isn't all that important unless you're really gunning for the secondary drops. The other thing that all Ender.io machines have is this slot in which you can place a capacitor. The basic capacitor doesn't add anything, but the double layer and octadic capacitors increase both the speed and the RF storage. So they will be nice eventually, but for the moment we don't really need them. Especially since we're not planning on using it immediately. Now, the alloy smelter is the other machine we need at the moment. It takes 3 furnaces, 4 blocks of iron. Wow. We will need a basic capacitor, so the gold will come in handy there. And a copper. And I've got 2 types of copper. Joy. If anyone knows of a way to easily combine types like this, I would appreciate knowing it. It is possible to do this when you've got multiples of 9 of the other types. So you can combine things that way for some items, but not all. Anyways, got the capacitor. We now need the machine frame. 3 furnaces, which I just happened to have enough of. That was not actually planned. A cauldron. And we need to run out here to get 4 blocks of iron. Thankfully, we've got a fair number. Pick up some soybeans, some oats. With this, we now have enough to make our alloy smelter. Quest complete, alloys and crusher. And with the alloy smelter, again, it's got this slot for the capacitor and can have 3 slots for cooking things up. Either it will smelt 3 things simultaneously, or it will do a recipe from these 3. So if you were just doing ordinary smelting recipes, you could actually fill up all 3 slots with the same thing, and it'll just keep smelting away as long as there's space to output it. But that's that done. Now, choice reward. Basic capacitor. As you've seen, we can make them fairly easily. Energy conduits. Uh, these are the basic level ones, and since there are only 2 of them, and they're not hard to make with just conductive iron, which is redstone and iron ingots, or through the... can you actually make the... No, you can't actually make the conductive iron through the smeltery. You have to use the alloy smelter. But it would be nice... having the 2 would be useful if we didn't already have another power transmission system. But since we do, they're easy to make and not enough to make it really worthwhile. The third option is vibrant alloy nuggets. Again, only 2, but vibrant alloy requires ender pearls and energetic alloys, which requires redstone, glowstone, and gold. So they're not... it's not easy to make, especially since we have no ender pearls yet. And is okay. And is useful for making vibrant crystals for later on Ender IO things. Therefore, I think we're going to go with the vibrant alloy nuggets, just because they'll be useful eventually, and neither of the other 2 are really worth it at the moment. So, we choose the vibrant alloy nuggets, claim them, and that opens us up to several more quests. Some alloys. 32 conductive iron, as we just said, it's fairly easy to make, and 4 energetic alloys, which is a little bit harder. Also, Auto Farm, which is a farming station. Now, normally, this requires a fair bit of infrastructure to make. I don't know whether they made it easier. Okay. You need 2 pulsating crystals, which are pulsating iron nuggets, which, from the alloy smelter, ender pearls. So we're not getting this anytime soon, unless I go enderman hunting. Unless there's another way to make ender pearls, which I don't think so. Mob drops, dungeon chests, trading from villagers. 4 emeralds though, so that's rather expensive. Yeah. So, it'll be a while before we can do that one. Slice and Splice, which is actually required before you can make the auto farm, because you have to use it to create the Z-Logic controller. So, requires making a Slice and Splice and a Soul Binder. The Slice and Splice requires Solarium, which is Soul Sand and Gold. So that is certainly doable. It'll just takes a lot more Soul Sand than... Actually, I do have enough at the moment. But let's also look at the Soul Binder, which is another tool used for various things. Primarily, it's used for making, for binding mob souls to various things. I use it most for making mob spawners. Ender IO has its own automated spawner, which is very useful, especially to make Enderman eventually. But it also requires an Enderman head to begin with, and 4 Solarium, Skeleton Soul, Creeper Head. None of these 3 we've got at the moment. So, that'll take some mob farming to get. And a basic capacitor bank. That one we can actually do pretty much right away, I think. Basic capacitor bank. Another block of redstone. 4 basic capacitors. But this is certainly doable and allows for some RF storage. Also, when you break and replace that capacitor block, it doesn't lose its well, actually 2 blocks, but it doesn't lose the RF, so you can use it to transport RF to other locations as well. So we're going to need more iron. I'm just going to go ahead and make that capacitor block right now. So we need 4 basic capacitors. Let's see, a block of redstone and 4 iron ingots. Got the redstone on me. So, as I said, fairly quick and simple to make. Okay, did complete. I just didn't register anything here because, there's no reward for this quest, unfortunately. But it opens us up to but it's a useful thing to have, and it opens up a few new quests. One is for a crafter. This is a nice choice reward. 9 pulsating iron. Basic item filters are just that basic. Useful, but it requires a hopper and some paper. Which is really easy to make. An ender crystal, which requires an enderman's soul, I believe, or another crafter. So we'll probably go for the ender crystal or the pulsating iron. But first, let's see what it takes to make. Is the logic controller. So we need the slice and splice first. Also, there's a monsters stop quest, which is an attractor obelisk and an inversion obelisk. These are machines that, with RF and storing mobs' souls inside of soul vials inside of them, will either attract the mobs to the location or prevent them spawning nearby. So this could be very useful if combined with a husk soul, but I don't think we can make either of them at the moment. Let's see, there's the Tractor Obelisk. Requires an enticing crystal, which is a soul vial of a villager, and an emerald in the soul binder, which we don't have. Or the Aversion Obelisk, which requires a tormented enderman head in the Slice and Splice, which we also don't have available yet. So that's another quest that will have to wait. The power usage one, power monitor and graphical power monitor. Let's see what these require. Conduit probe, yes, so this is doable. And graphical power monitor just requires some black wool and dyes. So these are certainly doable, but the alloy nuggets will be useful, but I don't need them right now. So we're going to put off on doing that quest just because I don't really need the rewards at the moment. Though, that could be an interesting quest. I don't know whether it requires killing the dragon or not. We shall have to see eventually. But for the moment, that covers all the quests we can currently do. Quest updated. Rabbit. Okay. That's odd. Creating life. Oh, that just means that the cooldown finished and that I can, do the quest again. Which I might do. I'm not sure. Rabbits only, I think, drop, okay. Let's see. They drop the raw rabbits. They also drop, rabbit hide, which can be used for making leather. But we have other sources of leather now. Oh, hey. We might have to work on some way to pipe things out of those. If they really since they only stack to 1. But, as I was saying, we have a way of making leather now. Especially since you can cook up these meats into into the cooked meat, then dry those to get leather. as well. So plenty of way to get leather. I don't really need rabbits. And the one rabbit I did have, I ran into the cacti and died. So, not particularly useful. I have a bunch of pigs. I should breed them some more. But for now, I think this is a good wrapping up point. We've looked at a whole bunch of quests that are coming up, including completing several. I'm really in need of glowstone or redstone at the moment, since we're down to 39, and the stone RF quest will take 18 of those. Actually, I haven't. And I need a few more to make the nether bricks. So we're also getting close to having the blast furnace to make steel. I've got I just threw that egg. Oops. I've got new plants coming for both food and bait. So overall, we're in a decent spot. I think it'll soon be time to really start upping the automation of things. Building more auto hammers and auto sieves, so that way I can stop doing that manually. Hooking these up to power, and also getting more leather eventually to finish off the animal quests. But for now, it's a good wrapping up point. So until next time, enjoy.